I'm David Baldwin, and I taught trumpet at the University of Minnesota School of Music for 44 years. Just retired last May, but I still have a few students this year. And I'll be fully retired at the end of this semester.
And I'm Rob Hahn. I'll be asking the questions. Today's Wednesday, January 9th, 2019, and we are at Al's Breakfast in Dinkytown, Minneapolis, Minnesota. You came to the U in 74.
74.
Yeah. What was your first impression when you came to Dinkytown, and what brought you here?
Well, you know, I didn't start I didn't start coming here until 78. A colleague of mine, and we had our office just down the street here in the music ed building, which has been torn down, since been torn down. And I would pick up Martha Hilly, who taught class piano, and we'd come to Al's. Yeah, it was just really nice to get away from the university area and come here, and it's a whole world when you come to Al's. So.
How would you describe the camaraderie among the regulars, or maybe even the non-regulars here at Al's?
Well, now you just interviewed Doug, and every time I walk in, he has a fresh insult for me. I came in and he said, "Oh, hey, you know, your parole officer was looking for you." So everybody turns. And another time, I came in and I sat down next to a girl, a student, and he said, I hope you don't mind sitting next to an axe murderer. So that's the usual. There are worse ones that I can't repeat. But
we were talking to Doug a little bit about some of the well-known individuals who have eaten here. Who are some of the more recognizable figures and names that you recall dining with during the years?
Yeah. But no, bad question. No, I really don't.
Okay.
I haven't been here when the famous people have been here.
Let's talk about the music element. You actually
Sure.
composed a piece about Al's Breakfast. What led you to do that?
Oh yeah, I mean it's such a iconic place, and I just thought there should be a piece of music based on the situation at Al's Breakfast. And so in 1982 I wrote music for Al's Breakfast. It's a 5-movement brass quintet, and we played it many times. We made this a CD, and because of that, I think I may be the only person that has a cup of their own who hasn't worked here. Usually you have to work here a certain number of years before you get your own cup, and it says Professor Lips.
How long, out of curiosity, did that take you to compose?
I'd be guessing 6 months, and so then it was successful enough that I did another one in '84 and a third one in '87, and then did a concerto for euphonium in '92, and so that's what's on this CD. It's 4 large pieces for brass quintet.
I know the music in some ways should probably speak for itself. Nonetheless, I'll ask you a question, and hopefully you can explain, if possible. What were you trying to capture musically when you were putting these pieces together as it related to Al's?
Sure. I mean the 5 movements are all named after usually something at the restaurant. The first movement is coffee, question mark, because that's, you sit down, usually coffee, and so forth. So let's see, one of the movements is here, eat this. It's what Doug would say when he threw the food at you. And I actually on the I don't think you talked about this, but Doug would very often juggle back here, and I have a picture of him on the CD. He's juggling a raw egg, a pancake, and a bottle of hot sauce. And so it's always entertaining.
Yeah. What was the reaction when you first either performed it or recorded it and shared the recording with people, whether it was Doug or other regulars here?
Yeah.
Most of them said, "That classical music?"
That's right. That's right. So it was my attempt to write pop-sounding classical music. So it would be up to somebody else to say how successful I was.
What keeps you coming back?
Oh, the food, seeing Doug. Allison now is the co-owner, and so yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful atmosphere. I come here at least 3-4 times a week.
Are you a guy who has the same thing off the menu every day, or do you like to rotate it?
Yep, I almost always have the same thing,
And what is it?
and that's scrambled eggs with mushrooms and tomatoes, and then usually orange juice and coffee.
Now, little birdie told me this story. You can confirm if it's true or not. That
Okay.
the joke goes, and I may be way off, so that's the value of recording something. That at some point you had some sort of bypass, and the joke was, I think, that moving a little further away from Dinkytown to the West Bank, where the music offices are now, might have saved your life.
All right, yeah, I like that. It reminds me of the story that, because when I first came to Al's, Al himself would come in sometimes, and I saw Al a number of times come in, and his, I know he was in his 90s when he died, and his story was that his longevity was because he never ate at Al's. But yeah, I did have quadruple heart bypass in 2002. And, they said, well, the surgeon at that time said, well, it's good for, 10 or 12 years. So it's, I'm coming up on my 17th anniversary. And I think it's probably because I eat at Al's.
Anything about Al's or Dinkytown that I'm forgetting to ask that you want to add?
Well, I don't know if you talked about the books.
We did not know.
Yeah. Now, you can see, like, I don't know, 100 or so of these yellow books. So you can prepay. And then you don't have to bring cash or anything, and they just mark it out of your book. So I came in yesterday, and I had just taught a couple of lessons, and the people paid me with a couple of $100 bills. So I put $100 on my book. Now I'm good for a few days, and they just take it out of the book.